I can identify statistical questions and describe them as numerical or categorical. A statistical question is one that can be answered by collecting data and where there will be variability in the data. So we are going to be collecting more than one fact, and that is going to be different answers most likely. So not something like, how old am I? That is just one fact, it's got one answer, there's no variability there. Instead, I could say, how old is everyone in my class? Then I'm collecting data and there will be some variability in the data. So for each of the following, let's say whether they are a statistical question. How many letters are in your last name? That is not a statistical question because it just has an answer. This is how many letters are in my last name. There's no variability. How many letters are in the last names of the students in my 7th grade class? So that is a statistical question because we are collecting data from everyone in the class and they will have different answers depending on how long their names are. What are the colors of the shoes worn by students in my school? That is a statistical question. We are collecting data, and that data will vary depending on the shoes. What size is my shoe? That is not a statistical question because it has a single answer. This is the size of my shoe. What are the heart rates of students in my school? That would be a statistical question because we're collecting data from all the students in the school and they would all have different heart rates. How many hours of sleep per night do fit 7th graders usually get when they have school the next day? That is a statistical question. We are collecting data and that data would vary. How many miles per gallon does my parents' car get? Because we're only talking about your parents' car, that is not a statistical question. That will just have an answer. This is how many miles per gallon it gets. But how many miles per gallon do compact cars get? That would be a statistical question because now we are collecting data and there would be variability on that with the number of cars that we are checking. There are two types of data that are used to answer statistical questions, numerical and categorical. Numerical are numbers. So the heart rate that we just did, the miles per gallon that we just did. The categorical is typically words. So the shoe color would be categorical because those are words, those are descriptions, categories, and they're not numbers. So for each of the following, we're going to identify if it's categorical or numerical. The arm spans of 12 7th graders. That would be numerical because that is a length, it is a number. The favorite sport of each person in a group of 20 adults. That is going to be categorical because our answer is not a number, it is the favorite sport. Number of pets for each of 40 3rd graders. Now they didn't ask what kind of pet, that would be categorical, but because they said how many pets do you have, that is going to be numerical. Colleges that your teachers attended, that will be categorical because it will be a list of colleges. It is not a number.